The All Progressives Grand Alliance governorship candidate in the Imo State, Captain Emmanuel Iheanacho, has denied stepping down from the race. He says rumors that he is pulling out of the governorship race for the PDP candidate is only cheap blackmail perpetrated by the opposition. Speaking to Channels Television after his campaign team visited Nkwere and Wangele local government areas of the state, he promised that if elected into office, providing free and qualitative education for youth will be his top priority. It's a few weeks to the general elections, and the campaign train of the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, Captain Emmanuel Iheanacho, is covering more areas in Imo State. This time, he's in Nkwere and Wangele local government areas to solicit votes for the party. Giving honor to whom it's due, Captain Iheanacho and his entourage went to the palace of the Eshi of Nkwere, His Royal Highness Chijioke Okwara. From there, the campaign train moved to meet thousands of supporters who were already waiting for their candidate. While addressing the gathering, Captain Iheanacho, who spoke in Igbo language, said ABGA remains the only party interested in the plight of the Igbo people. During an interview with Channels Television, he debunked rumors making the rounds about him stepping down for the PDP governorship candidate in the state, insisting that he's still very much in the race.
We are not stepping down for anyone. There's no basis upon which we can contemplate such an action. We are absolutely on top. Myself and ABGA are absolutely set to win the election. Our people are yearning for change. Our people are tired of emergency governors. Our people are tired of the traditional politicians who come there and promise heaven and earth and give absolutely nothing.
Having toured 24 of the 27 local government areas, Captain Iheanacho hopes to visit more local governments within the next 2 weeks. As various political parties increase campaigns across the country, one party that's not part of the frenzy is the Social Democratic Party, the SDP. It plans to join hands with one of the already well-known parties whose presidential candidate has emerged. At a briefing today in Abuja, the national chairman of the SDP, Chief Olufalaye, said that as it has not been able to produce a presidential candidate, the next option is to decide which of the other parties to support.
Most state branches of the party are fielding governorship, National Assembly, and State Assembly candidates, totaling over 600 nationwide. It becomes clear that the Social Democratic Party has now become the third largest party in Nigeria. However, due to the fact that none of our presidential aspirants was able to meet the required guidelines within the time available and stipulated by the INEC, we have been unable to field a presidential candidate for the forthcoming election. We have therefore decided to set up a committee to advise the party on which, if any, of the presidential candidates the party should support, based on the following considerations. 1, faithful implementation of the report of the National Conference 2014 as a basis for restructuring Nigeria. 2, intensification of efforts, military and otherwise, to defeat insurgency in the northeastern zone of Nigeria, and also establishment of security throughout the country. 3, adoption of a policy of zero tolerance for corruption.
The SDP National Chairman, Chief Olufalaye. The All Progressives Grand Alliance, ABGA, appears confident, though, of securing most of the legislative and council seats in Anambra State in the forthcoming elections. While campaigning in the north and south senatorial zones of the state, Governor Willie Obiano, who did not hide his support for the party's candidates, said he was sure of victory at the polls for the party in the various seats.
One may be forgiven to think that Governor Willie Obiano is about to contest another election barely a year after he emerged victorious from one. But this rally is not about him. It's about his party, the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, and its candidates in the forthcoming polls. The party is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that all of them emerge victorious. And this is the message to the electorate in Anambra South Senatorial District.
Anambra South, Kokoroko! APGA! Up, up, up! Ga, ga, ga!
The party's candidates for the elections are presented to the people and flags handed over to them. Amongst them is the first DG of the Nigeria Communications Commission, Ernest Ndukwe, and the son of APGA's founder, Chukwuemeka Ojukwu Jr. The tempo of the campaign is, however, raised one notch higher when the train visits Anambra North. Again, Governor Obiano repeats his message of APGA for Anambra.
In this election, we are going to sweep the 3 senatorial seats over here. We will sweep the 11 Federal House of Representatives seats in Anambra State. We will sweep the 30 seats available for the Anambra State House of Assembly.
And the candidates receive their flags. They say they are revved up to ensure quality representation for their people and party. As parties and candidates prepare for the elections, the electorate can only expect that if they win, they will fulfill the promises made on the campaign trail.
Staying with electoral matters, and campaigns have continued, but this time the All Progressives Congress says the presidential candidate, General Muhammadu Buhari, will not be participating in the ongoing electioneering public debates on national television and radio being organized by government institutions and state media organizations. The Buhari Campaign Organization today in a press release gave reason for wanting to boycott such debates, saying that they are fraught with fundamental errors from the outset. The Buhari Campaign Director of Media, Malam Garba Shehu, says the organizers are wearing the toga of government control, as the body is made up of mainly agencies and allies of the ruling PDP. However, the party says General Buhari has been preparing for debates and will exempt himself from such, being organized by broadcast stations that have denigrated and maligned his person and that of his family. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party's candidate for Anambra Central Senatorial Zone, Uche Ekwunife, has assured of her readiness to attract developmental projects, as well as be a strong voice for her people if elected senator in February 14's National Assembly elections. Ekwunife announced this during her ward tour of Awka South and North local government areas of Anambra State, which are in the Central Senatorial District.
Arriving in a motorcade in Amanuke community in Awka North local government area of Anambra State, residents of the community in their hundreds trooped out and with dance and songs to welcome Mrs. Uche Ekwunife. And after speeches of goodwill from the members of the community, it was time for the two-time member of the Federal House of Representatives to tell the people the reason for the world tour.
No woman has ever represented this senatorial district. Biko, is it not time for a woman to go? Yes. And who is that woman that will go? Who is the woman that will go? If you support Uche Ekwunife, raise your hand up.
The people expressed their support for the woman they described as an Amazon.
She has been here in the House of Reps and now is seeking for Senate. Obviously, I know he will deliver the good. She will.
From Amanuke, the campaign train moved to Urom and Isuaniocha. The crowd also did not diminish and the message did not change.
Go to my constituency, federal constituency, and see what I have done there in the past 7 years. I have represented them creditably well on the floor of the House. It's to vote PDP. Because there is no alternative to Goodluck Jonathan.
The ward tour came to a close in Umboku in Awka South local government area.
The fate of any voter in the 2015 general elections lies in the permanent voter card because the umpire INEC has said no PVC, no voting. The election European Observer Group in Nigeria for the election salutes the enthusiasm of Nigerians ahead of the polls, but says it is keeping a close eye on how INEC is conducting the distribution of voter cards so as to not to disenfranchise any Nigerian. But the head of the team has advised the elections should not be postponed. Our political correspondent, Seun Okinbaloye, has more on this.
No PVC, no voting in 2015, that's according to INEC. But the issue of the PVC has perhaps turned out to be INEC's greatest nightmare in recent times. The hitches involved in the registration of voters and distribution of the voter cards sparked huge public outcry. Hard work is now the Commission's new watchword to make sure no one is disenfranchised, as calls are being made for the postponement of the polls, but the Commission insists it will not be on the account of the PVC.
And telling people to come out and collect before the 31st of January. But if push comes to shove, we can distribute up to the eve of the election.
With about 15 days to the first set of elections, the words of the INEC chair may be a solace. The eyes of the world is on Nigeria as a monitor and wanting to know how exactly the nation fares in the conduct of one of its most critical elections in its almost 60 years of existence. The head of the European Union election observers is in Lagos, and his attention and that of his team is on how the PVC distribution is being conducted. It tells me just how important the 2015 polls is and the lives of Nigerians, but says the PVC is a critical element, but salutes the enthusiasm of Nigerians towards the process.
You see, I know that it's not easy for INEC because Nigeria is a so big country, so many inhabitants, and then it's a new system to vote, then it can be a little complicated. I will say that I am impressed by the commitment of the people, the Nigerian people, that they really want to go and vote, and they make big queues sometimes to get the PVCs, and then I think that says very good things about the Nigerian people. They really want to fulfill his democratic rights, that is to vote if they want. Of course, also it's very democratic not to vote.
The chief observer believes the scheduled election date should not be tampered with in the interest of Nigerians.
In principle, I think it's important to stay to the date of elections, because that is one of the principles of one elections, to try to stay on the fixed day.
The eyes of the world is on Nigeria. Getting it right with the 2015 polls is not only sacrosanct, but very important to the nation's continued unity and peace. Seun Okinbaloye, reporting for Channels Television News.
When the News at 10 returns, Unilever launches a new member in the Pepsodent toothpaste range. Please join us again.